Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm Martin and today we're looking at E.T. Okay, before everyone judges me about this, no, I haven't watched E.T. I get enough of this from my partner. Every single time this movie comes up in conversation, it's always, you haven't seen E.T.? Today we rectify that, we're watching it today. So my only real sort of connection to E.T. is other than all the big pop culture stuff. I mean, all that stuff is in the ether, as it were. So, you know, the bike flying off, I mean, that's the Amblin logo, so there's some stuff you can't escape. But my own real connection to E.T., and this is going to be a very niche thing that probably only a handful of you are going to remember, is the old BT adverts from the 90s. That's the only connection I have to E.T. is watching him in BT adverts, saying BT phone home in the most cheesy way possible, and that is it. That's my only connection to E.T. I have no idea what happens in the film, although my partner does seem convinced I'm going to feel some emotions, and we'll see. I tend to be able to keep control with emotional stuff in movies. I've never really cried in a movie, which might make me a monster, but that's what I'm reserving my 10 out of 10 slot for, is if any movie can really get me to tears. So there we go. E.T. is coming up, and we'll see what happens and see if it does indeed get me very emotional. We'll find out in a moment, I suppose. Let's get into it. Oh, there he is. I see him. Creeping around over there. Wait, there's another one. There's two of them. There's two E.T.s. I wasn't expecting two. Are they gardeners? They're space gardeners. Oh no, not another bunny. We had enough of bunnies from the witch. How did he get so far away? Why is he wandering off so far? He's nowhere near the spaceship. See, why isn't his little orange glowy thing going off? Oh, wait, there it goes. Why did it take so long? Is it because he was further away? What was that? What was that? Woo! Oh, God. That's this. If you heard that in the woods... Look at him. He's like on a track. They've attached E.T. to a track and just gone... It's kind of interesting that everyone is in silhouette. E.T.'s in silhouette. All the humans are in silhouette. That's a weird effect. Now, what are you doing? Stop doing it. Stop having people move in front of the camera because it looks weird. Stop it.
I can still throw death spells, huh, Steve?
I'm just trying to help you out, man. Don't be
God,
so cranky.
I can still do death spells, man. Stranger Things has a lawsuit coming its way. Fuck that. If you... Yeah, exactly. Fuck that. They're all gonna go out there. Of course they are. Of course they're all gonna go out there. He's grabbed a knife!
We'll check it out.
Oh my god, this is dangerous. Don't play with knives, kids. Don't do it. Hey, you're spilling them. Amateur. Oh, okay, he's doing it on purpose. I was gonna say, if he's just like, I don't want these Reese's Pieces, but it makes sense. He's setting a trail with Reese's Pieces, which he thinks would work for some reason. His fingers are fucking creepy. Those are probing fingers if I ever saw them.
Probably imagined it.
I couldn't have imagined it.
How would you imagine that? How would you imagine a fucking gremlin in your shed?
Maybe an elf or a leprechaun.
It was nothing like that, penis breath.
Elliot! Sit down.
Good old insults, penis breath. I bet that caught on when people heard that. I mean, it'd freak you out for sure. Until you see those eyes. Those eyes just look like the essence of purity. I'm friendly. Those hands, on the other hand, not so much. Hey, he brought them back. He brought back the Reese's. I love the fact that we're treating an alien that is discovered interplanetary flight like an idiot. That's kind of terrifying, to be honest. Maybe you saw those hands just... Look at them. Look at those creepers. Right, who is this jangly key man? Because now they've got resources. What happened? I thought they were going to just get written off as crazy people who thought they saw a spaceship. These appear to be Reese's Pieces. Aliens to make Reese's Pieces. Ew, did he eat it? Why would you eat that? Oh my god, stop this. Immediately, don't. What is he doing? Oh no, don't. Who gave this kid the keys?
Put the candy in here, and then when you lift up the head...
E.T. looks bored out of his fucking mind. What are you talking about, kid? I know all this. I've built a spaceship. I know how candy works. Fucking E.T. can book it when he wants to. Pick up the milk. Pick up the milk. Oh god, that's annoying me. Pick up the milk. Pick up the milk. Okay, just leave it on the floor. It's fine. Oh, this... That shelf is the most unsecure shelf. I don't think you're sending E.T. a good message here. We bully little girls into promises. Okay, E.T. and the dog friends now? They're not gonna try and maul each other?
Maybe he's some animal that wasn't supposed to live.
Look at that spread! Look at all that food he's got!
I don't like his feet.
His feet? Have you seen his hands? I don't know that none of this food is, like, poisonous to him. Maybe I'm thinking about this too much.
He's not that smart. Maybe he's like a worker bee who only knows how to push buttons or something.
Smart.
Okay, I just hope we don't wake up on
Okay, at least they're acknowledging that they think he's smart. Like, so far they've been treating him like, you dummy, we smart. I am wondering how the mum is going to, the American talk, is gonna get introduced to E.T. It's gonna happen at some point. Yep, that's perfect disguise. He looks like all those other plushy animals, apparently. It is strange that the only adult we've seen so far is the mum. Like, every other adult has been silhouetted in some way. Or is he going to get drunk? I mean, he's got the plaid shirt on. You may as well get the beers going. Are they, like, connected in some way? Are the two of them, like, got some sort of link going on? Why is E.T. walking into things? Oh, he's down. He's down for the count. Oh, right, he's drunk. One beer did it. One beer made him drunk, so he's walking into things. Oh, God, this is gonna go... Oh, my God. Why is this a thing? Who wrote this? Who wrote this in? Save the frog, Elliot. Do the right thing and save the frog. Oh, he's going one above. Save all the frogs. Well, this kid is... No! I will kill this frog. It's such a bizarre scene. Save the frogs! Yeah!
I taught him how to talk now. He can talk now. Look what he brought up here all by himself.
She owned you, dude. She taught him more in a few seconds than you did for like a whole day. Yeah, I'd be making that face as well if that finger started coming towards me. Why do you... I'm going to assume government agency. Why do they always think black vans? Black vans are the way to go. They don't look at all suspicious. I don't like where this potential cliche is going. The Flash is going to set people off.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Yep, there it is. There we go. There it goes. He's flying. It's the bit that I knew about. There it is. There's the ambulance logo. Shady government organization. 80s. Ooh. This is cool. It is working. I expected this to fail, but it looks like it's working. Looks like something Wallace and Gromit would knock up. So it seems to where it at. E.T. and Elliot are connected in some way, and E.T. is getting a little sneezy. Thank God Mike has turned around. At the start of this film, I was all but convinced I was going to hate him all the way through, but thankfully he seems to have turned around. Oh God. Why is he walking like a zombie? What the fuck? Jesus. How'd they get away? How'd they get away from Spaceman? It's still really interesting that, other than the mum, all the adults have been silhouetted in some way. Still, it's interesting that there is this connection between Elliot and E.T., but I don't quite know how it happened. Can he just not survive on Earth, I suppose? I suppose that's where this is going. Was he only able to, like, stay alive because he's connected to Elliot? Like, Elliot was keeping him alive? Right, there's no way that E.T.'s gonna die. That is off the table. That isn't happening. If E.T. legitimately is dead by the end of this movie, I will eat my hat. Okay? It's interesting, but now that we definitely know all the grown-ups are being helpful, they've suddenly been demasked, even though they probably should keep their mask on in this situation. All the kids in this are great. Like, there's so convincing when they're acting against a puppet. They're really good, all of them. He's not dead, okay? I refuse to believe that the film is going to end on a dead E.T. I'm happy that the film is sort of gone against type in that it shows that they wanted to keep E.T. alive, which is the polar opposite of what you'd expect. Like, you'd expect them to be like, let's kill this thing and chap him up. Hey, he started glowing. He's glowing. Do you not notice the glow? See, he's not dead. Told you. I told you all. Oh, to zip him back up. That's... That... Yep, he doesn't need to breathe. Just zip him up in that plastic bag.
Meet us at the playground at the top of the hill. Let's do it.
Don't really have time for this chit chat. You don't. Okay, gotta keep going. Oh my God. What is this? I really thought these guys would have a bigger part in this whole thing, but apparently not. What? What are they doing? Hey, at least he didn't crash into anything. He's doing better than he has been. And somehow these guys got here first. Why have they got guns out? Why have they got guns? We're gonna shoot these teenagers if that's the last thing I do.
We made it.
Did you make it though? It comes out of nowhere. There they go! Woo! I knew about this bit as well. Pop culture has ruined some of the moments of this film for me. Okay, I wasn't born, alright, when this film came out. You can't hold it against me. They're all like, hi. Apart from him, he's suitably terrified. How weird would this be for you if you're watching your kid who's befriended an extraterrestrial? Of all the people on the planet, the aliens came and made best friends with my child. Must be a bit surreal. Glowy finger? Give him the glow. There it is! Creepy. There's a happy ending. Happy. Makes such a difference from films that we've been watching lately to have such a nice, happy ending. End. I know this stuff. I know how movies work. There you go. Ooh, that was E.T. The classic. Alright, everyone, that was E.T. Didn't really take that many notes this time. Literally only 3, which was Stranger Things getting sued, connection between Elliot and E.T. I wasn't sure what exactly caused the connection, but it was an interesting little sort of subplot that went through the whole thing. And the thing that stood out the most to me was how all the adults, apart from the mum, for the most part of the film, are all in silhouette, or you don't see their faces. What impressed me the most was how often the film went against type, with some specific moments, especially towards the end of the film, but we'll get all to that in a moment. Let's go through this bit by bit. So the most standout thing for me watching this is the kids, namely, Elliot, Mike and Gertie, I think her name was Gertie. But what I'm getting at here is the three main kids, their performances are really good, especially when they're acting against a puppet. I mean, it's a pretty damn good puppet. I mean, it's lived on in pop culture and iconicness and stuff. I don't know. It's weird to me. Like, everyone talks about how cute E.T. is. I didn't find him super cute. I mean, the eyes sold it. Like, he has the big Disney eyes sort of thing going on. Those hands are creepy. They're freaky little sausage hands lurking around the corners and stuff. But their performances are solid throughout. They hit all those emotional beats and stuff, which is really good. I mean, especially Elliot stands out because he's obviously a very young actor at this point, and he's carrying this film, and all the emotional weight of the film is on him, which is really impressive for someone that young to really just keep the audience engaged with everything that's happening. Because as good as the puppet of E.T. is, you wouldn't care about what that puppet is going through if you didn't have Elliot there to surrogate the emotions of it, because as the plot hints at, is that the two of them are connected in some way, and that's how E.T. is also emoting, because obviously there must have been a choice somewhere in the filmmaking where we've got a puppet, it looks really good, we can make it move, we can get it to emote somewhat, but maybe we could help it along a bit by putting in a plot point that connects the two together and helps the audience relate to the E.T. creature more, via having this child express all of it. So all of them are really good. I mean, and again, I said this in the reaction, if it's made the cut, I was fully expecting to hate Mike throughout the film, but thankfully, about, 20 minutes or so in, he sort of flipped. As soon as he got introduced to E.T., he flipped, and he was a lot more likable from that point forward, so that's good. I like to see characters start somewhere and flip when important information is given to them, and they don't go the traditional route of, I'm still going to be an asshole about it. I'm actually going to be helpful about it. So that was good. Another thing I feel like I have to point out in this segment, I feel like a lot of the big moments of the movie, the ones that are meant to really get you like whoop and scream and, really reacting, quote unquote, to it, are kind of ruined to me because of pop culture. And that's not the film's fault, pop culture's fault. It's just the fact that I was born after this film, and I've seen this film parodied in numerous iterations from numerous different places. So there's some of the bigger moments I sort of knew about to some extent. There was some stuff I didn't know, like the whole screaming at the wardrobe. I didn't know about that bit, but a lot of the flying bike stuff I already knew because it's either been parodied or imitated in other things. And I knew the music pretty well because I've heard that a lot. So those sort of big moments were, I suppose, taken away from my reaction to it because I already knew about them, if that makes any sense. But I just think that's an important thing to note with this being my first time watching it. I feel like had I seen this film when I was younger, and it'd been one of those films in that catalogue of stuff where when I was that age, I just watched over and over again, like films like Goonies, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, those sort of films I watched constantly as a kid, I would have more of an affinity to it as a whole. But since I'm seeing this for the first time in my late 20s in the year 2021, there's, I think, some stuff that maybe I don't connect to as much as people who have a lot of nostalgia for the film growing up. One of the most interesting things I found watching this is the fact that they decide to silhouette all the adults until their motivations become clear. So you're really seeing 90% of the film is all from the kid's point of view, which is brilliant. It helps you relate to everything that's going on their level by not having the adults coming in early on, unless they are somehow motivated. But it's all by their motivations, right? So we meet the mom, and the mom is unsilhouetted because she's on the kid's side from the offset, right there. Because she's there to look after them and help them however she can, and that's why she isn't silhouetted. That's why the filmmakers, it allows you to be on her side, as it were, because she has the kids' interests at heart. When we don't know what the motivations of the adult characters are, they are completely silhouetted. You don't see their faces or anything. Spinning wheels on this, but I just really liked the idea of, we'll introduce characters in such a way that when their motivations line up with what the audience motivation and the protagonist motivation is, that's when we'll reveal their faces. I think that was just a nice touch to help keep things emotionally motivated in the right direction, I suppose, if that's how you want to put it. But I thought it was just a nice little technique that they threw in here. It also helped set up some tension earlier on in the film. Like, I was obsessed with the idea that they were shady government agents, and they completely flipped the switch, which leads me on to the next thing I really liked about E.T. I really liked how it steered away from cliches. Obviously, going into this, you feel like the shady people spying on the house and all that stuff, they want to kidnap the alien, they want to cut that thing up and do experiments, all that kind of stuff. Turns out that isn't really the case. They'd rather the alien be alive, they'd rather be able to communicate with it, they'd rather sort of be on good terms with it and all that sort of stuff. So that was a nice little twist, I suppose you can call it, which I enjoyed quite a lot. And that sort of stuff happened throughout the film, where you feel like, oh, it's going this way, oh no it's not, it's going a slightly different way, and albeit a slightly more upbeat, pleasant way, shall we say. Like, I enjoyed how upbeat this whole film is. It's so full of goodness, I suppose. The only weird bit was when they decided to pull out revolvers when chasing down kids. That was a little bit weird. I also liked how a lot of little things that were set up at the start of the film sort of came full circle towards the end. Like the obvious one being the flying one. When they first flew on the bike, he didn't land it. The second time they did, Mike showing that he can't drive a car to save his life at the start, and when it comes to push to shove, that's how that saying goes. But when the moment is called upon, he could do it, albeit a bit rough around the edges. But I liked how it was set up that he can drive, but not particularly well. But then his hero moment came when he got to save the day with his amazing van driving skills. But there's a bunch of little things like that throughout the film, where there's a little tidbit at the start, pays off later on. That's all really good stuff. The only negative thing I have to say about the film really is, it's an important plot point because it sort of establishes the relationship between the kids and the mum, is the whole dad situation. Obviously, in the reaction, if it's in there, I was thinking the dad was going to show up at some point, and I was very happy that he didn't show up, because I felt that would have been another cliche plot hole, not really a plot hole, but just a hole that they could have fallen into. But he keeps coming up in conversation throughout the film, so I thought, like, he's got to show up somehow. But basically what I'm getting at here, I feel like the really only needed mention of the dad was really maybe that scene at the start when you have Elliot sort of say, I can't, he's in Mexico. I think that's all you really needed. I don't think you needed to keep getting repeated. You don't need to keep iterating the point that their father is not around. The best time it was done in the film was the first time, when that sort of lead weight got dropped in the conversation, you instantly got where all of those family members were at in regards to that whole situation, and it sort of perfectly set them all up as how they were affected by this recent sort of tear in their family. So the only negative thing that really stood out to me was how that kept getting brought up, when I think you only really needed it at that first scene, and that's the best moment of that sort of revelation or insight into their family life. overall, how am I going to rate this? I mean, I wouldn't say that this is one of my favorite Spielberg movies, honestly. I know that might be blasphemy to a lot of people because I know how popular this film is in the Spielberg collection and or movies of all time and all that. I know a lot of people love this film like very dearly, and I can see why, because of that. It just has that good naturedness to it where everything feels, oh, everything can be okay if we work hard, everything can be good and happy and all that sort of stuff, which I appreciate. But I don't know, I feel like, I don't know if this is just me, but I need something that's got a bit more of an edge to it, I suppose, for me to enjoy it. That's just my personal taste. I don't dislike this film because of it, I have to really point that out. I actually enjoyed the fact that this was so full of happy goodness and goodwill, but I don't know why this doesn't hit me in the same way like an Indiana Jones movie does, or a Jaws, or all that stuff. I suppose it's because even Indiana Jones, like some of those films, they're very silly, goofy action movies, but they have a undercurrent of something evil going on, I suppose, which is like stakes. I suppose that's what it comes down to, is that the stakes of E.T. are kind of high because E.T.'s dying, but then he's not dead, and it's about just getting him home. I don't know, I can't quite like nail it down what it is about E.T. that doesn't quite hit me in the same way as other Spielberg movies of this era sort of do. Again, I think it comes down to the fact that I'm watching this film as someone in the late 20s and it's not really guided towards me, it's more guided towards maybe, teenagers and like, so it's maybe that's the reason why it's not hitting me on those same levels. And again, that goes with why all the adults in the film are silhouetted for the most part, because this is a film about children overcoming their own emotional issues, I suppose, and coming of age stuff. So I don't know where I'd place this. I think it's still a very solid film. So out of everything we've watched so far on this channel, I would probably give this maybe like I'm so scared of giving this a lower score because I know people will get upset. I think I'm gonna level with this one at a 7.9 for me personally. I mean, bear in mind, everyone who's watching this, these ratings are just personal to me. It's not in terms of would I put this in the top films ever based on my ratings of it. That's not what these ratings are. These ratings are purely down to my own personal biases and all that fancy stuff. But I would be happy with putting this at a 7.9. Just simply because based on the films I've watched and reacted to thus far, and knowing the other Spielberg movies that I know, this one is not one of the ones I would constantly revisit like I would the others. That's really what I'm putting it down to. Would I rewatch this film? Yeah, of course I would. I would happily rewatch it, but it's not one I would jump to. Like, I really need to watch E.T. right now. I don't think that's ever going to be a situation. So I'm happy with a 7.9 because I really like a lot of the filmmaking here, and obviously because Spielberg's great at what he does when he's turned on, because there were some films where he isn't, but 90% of the time he is, and this is definitely a case of where he is. So 7.9 from me, E.T. I'm really worried that some people are going to be angry about that. Oh well. But that's it. E.T. I'm happy I've watched it at long last from beginning to end, getting to see all the stuff that's I've known from pop culture and stuff. But yeah, I'm really happy I've watched it, and I'm happy that it was... I think it is as good as people say. I just don't think it's up to my personal tastes in some regards, that's all. Thank you for watching this video, guys. If you liked it, please hit that thumbs up. It helps the channel out, and if you really like my videos, hit the subscribe button and you won't miss any future ones. And although I'm kind of dreading this because I'm sure people have very strong opinions about this film, leave a comment down below and tell me what you like about E.T., or if you don't like it so much, leave a comment down below. And if you really hate my opinion about it, go straight ahead, go down those comments and let me know why I'm wrong about this film. But other than that, I really do hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you on the next one.